This is the first ever K-On! Ass reading speedrun. I didn't create this. It was created by my friend walksilently. Alright, here we go. Alright, we started in 3, 2, 1. Mugi Kotsubuki. Mugi's butt is on the larger side because Mugi prosperity predisposition to easily gain weight. Her butt is filled out nicely due to all of her candy and sweets she eats. Because of the fattiness, it's incredibly easy to sink your fingers into her posterior. Yet, when squeezed hard enough, you can feel a tightness lying underneath all that fat. Probably because Mugi's natural muscle definition. Though it had nice tightness, all the fat makes her butt appear to sag, even ever just so slightly, giving folds the little fat folds where her cheeks and legs meet. If you are able to see her bare butt, as she sits down, the fat would squish in nicely to form whatever she is sitting on. The size causes her cheeks to almost puff out, which gives a noticeable hump to her backside. No matter what Mookie wears, she can't hide her delicious plump ass. Skirts will be pushed away from her body, and tight jeans will have a hard time containing it. Slim dresses will form the curve, giving a very nice look to her butt. Moogie's naturally white skin is even whiter around her butt, almost pale. If you were to pull Moogie's butt cheeks apart, it would reveal somewhat large anus of a very pink color, which contrasts beautifully with her white skin. Her butthole would be like an oval-like shape, positioned just perfectly between her fat ass cheeks. Deep lines and wrinkles run from the tight entrance outwards. Because of her moderate-sized anus, her butt might not be as tight as some. Fuck. Shit. That lost time. Fuck. I'm losing time. Because of her moderate-sized anus may but not be as tight as some other K-On! Girls. As for the smell, Moogie's butt would naturally smell on the lighter side. Having lots of money means that Moogie would be able to afford all sorts of body washes and soaps, which mix in with her light butt scent, and create a very delicious smell. Though, because of Moogie's fat cheeks, her butthole would also often get sweaty, and any weather that could be considered cold, which turns out her butt sent into something quite stronger, yet still very pleasing. Yui Hirashisawa. Yugi's butt sits somewhere around the middle in the terms of the fat/muscle ratio. When squeezed, the fat of her ass will squish into your hands. A bit before you are met with a nice tightness. Cupping her cheeks in your hands and squeezing would be enough to pull her cheeks apart. As opposed to some of her fattier butts, such as Moogie's, needing to be deliberately bred for the same effect. While Yui's butt may not be big enough, it is very noticeable in some clothes, wearing tight jeans giving her a rump and a pleasant squeeze look. If she were to bend over, she would be while wearing said tight jeans, her ass would look very filled out, straining the fabric. Yui's anus is smaller than Moogie's with a round circular shape instead of an oval. It has a natural brown coloring and the lines wrinkles. Wait, where am I? Shit, I'm losing time. Okay, wrinkles are less defined and shallow, yet still visible enough. Overall, the tightness is very high. Working a finger into her butt would be a slow process, as the tightness would be trying to push you out the entire way, though it would start to give up quickly. Because Yui wears pantyhose regardless of whether her butt generally keeps warm, this constant heat causes Yui's butt to be quite smelly. The day goes on, as the sweat builds up on her butt crack. Though on the strong side of smell, it's not at all unpleasant. It smells good enough to even make your mouth water. If you are in a hurry, bury your face in her pantyhose, covered butt and sniff. Yui also has a very natural, strong smell. She could clean her butt incredibly well, yet it would still keep a strong lewd smell immediately afterwards. Ritsu Tainaka. Ritsu is pretty fit, and as such, it doesn't have much fat on her body. Her butt is on the smaller side because of this, and to further this, he frequently drum practice has worked her butt very well, making it small and tight, while her butt may not have the plumpness that some of the other K-ons have. It is still very nice butt. At a glance, her butt is not very visible. Underneath her school uniform or even tight pants, it rather appears to be almost flat. Don't be folded through. Don't be fooled through. Because Ritsu's nude butt has a very nice curve. Considering the tightness, two well-toned legs made a very nice and shapely butt cheek is quite wonderful. Squeezing Ritsu's butt will show you just how well-toned it is. Very little fat will be found. Your fingers grabbing and squeezing won't get you much either, other than a handful of tightness. That being said, her skin is very smooth and soft, so it's a very pleasing touch to grip, and her lewd butthole is easy to see as her small cheeks are enough to cover it. Ritsu's anus is much like Yui's, has a nice round shape, but it differs in the color and is a lighter shade of brown, and the wrinkles and lines surround it much deeper than Yui's. Her anus has a naturally mild scent, which is very easy and pleasing to sniff, but after a long jump practice, her butthole gets much stronger, almost overpowering. Ritsu's asshole would be incredibly tight, second tightest in Azusa. Okay, Azusa's butt. While, while overall not big in size, it appears to be plump on her small figure. A good ratio of fat and muscle. Her butt cheeks are pleasingly squishy and tight because of her petite figure. Her ass is looking very rounded and goes very well with her shapely hips, while not having the same immediately plump look. When clothed, Mugi and Mio give her cheeks filled out to her clothing nicely, and looks good as a result. Shorts and tight jeans suit her butt very well, the round cheeks of her ass causing the fabric to shift and bend as she walks. Would make you want to go, damn, look at that booty on that tiny ass girl. Whenever you see it, as it says anus, it does not look much like a hole at all. Rather, it almost appears as a slit, an opening between her round cheeks, a small indentation with a tiny slit, with the very shallow wrinkles and lines. Almost has as much color as the most. If her butthole is so tight that it tightens out the wrinkles, it doesn't have much color for the most part, aside from the very slight pinkish to it. Needless to say, Azusa, in fact, the tightest K-on when it comes to asshole. What might be surprising, Azusa's butt scent is by far the strongest of the K-ons. For reasons unknown, that tiny butthole slit produces an incredibly strong natural scent that doesn't go away, no matter how much Azusa washes herself. She has learned to live with it. Over time, though she still gets embarrassed when she thinks about it. If you were to pull off her pants / shorts / whatever, it would immediately smell. An immediate smell will assault your nose, though this could be good or bad depending on the person sniffing. Mio Akiyama. As far as size goes, Mio's rump ass is almost the same as Mugi's. There are quite a few differences. While Moogie's butt is mostly fat and some muscle underneath, Mio has less fat and more muscle definition, giving it a rounder and fuller look. Squeezing her cheeks would have a lot to give, yet you would be met with some springiness quickly as your fingers sink in. Even when wearing loose-fitting clothing, a sizable bump can be seen underneath, right where her ass is. Shorts, in particular, would look quite nice, her tightly, hugging her tightly against her butt. Her anus would be a nice and large rounded one with a light brown condensation coloration and wrinkles that would define the ass. Um, Wrinkles that would define the anus well. Mio's butt does not produce much of a natural smell. If you were to sniff her anus would directly right after a shower, it would probably smell like nothing other than the skin, possibly whatever she uses to wash herself. The only time a noticeable smell would form would be on a hot day, a sweat buildup on her fat cheeks. Anus tightness would be somewhere in the middle, tighter than Moogie's, but not as tight as Ritsu's, Azuna, and Yui even. Alright, stop. Alright, that's the end of it. I'm gonna go to jail. I'll see you guys later.